So today, Danger Pack is celebrating its 1 week anniversary since its release. But of course, it has existed for much longer than that. And today we're going to take a look at one of many, many runs I recorded on the test server as Danger Pack went through various changes to try and get it to the state that it is now. Now, I guess we are expecting some more changes now that everyone's had a chance to play it, and we're going to get to see what's strong, what's not, against more realistic opponents. As I've shown in previous videos that were recorded on the test server, although it says I'm playing a ghost here, these teams are actually copies of teams from the live server, or at least they were from an old version of the live server. We quickly got to see the alternate graphic for the Taki there in the shop. It was previously a tier 3, and it had a different sprite. I do think the newer sprite does look better. But maybe the eagle-eyed viewer will already have noticed some changes here, and one of them is that Bombus, the sniping bee on tier 1, originally did not have a trigger limit, so it was pretty good. Now here we can also see an alternate version of the proboscis monkey ability, which is transforming into any cell pet. I believe that was the original ability that was teased in the official Discord, because we end up getting a silverfish here, which is not possible now. Then you also got to see there the opponent had painted terrapin at tier 3, and its ability was hurt, give maple syrup to the pet behind, or I think it was Perkless pet behind. And maple syrup did originally have a different ability. I forget exactly what it was. I think it was similar to what you get on the live server, except it was it worked more than once. But yeah, a lot of these games from the sort of early stages of the pack. This is from March. I do have a lot of recordings from earlier in the test cycle, but I think this one was the one where a lot of the major bugs had been ironed out. So hopefully there won't be too many interruptions with desync errors and so on. So we ended up getting chipmunk there, which meant that we could stock the banana. Maybe I should have actually just held the chipmunk there so that I could stock some better food. I think at this point krill was different, and actually there's another new alternate piece of artwork you can see there. We've also got Sandpiper on tier 2, which is a 1-1. It has the same ability, but Takin originally had the Saola ability, which is giving, I think it's -1 plus 3 here, or is it -2? It might actually be -2 plus 3. I forget exactly, but it was the same principle where you're losing attack but gaining health. And that meant that the Saola had the Takin's current ability. It's weird when pets just get complete ability swaps, but I think it's done sometimes just to make sure that there aren't too many pets on the same tier that look very similar. I don't know. So we pick up Angel Shark. I don't think its ability or stat line has been changed at all. I could be wrong. And we still get... We've still got Golden Tamarin, although its ability was the same, I think, or very similar. There were more possibilities in the spawning pool, so you could get some of the other start of battle units. I guess maybe we'll see some of them come up, because I think this Tamarin is going to stay for the rest of the game. And it looks like the silverfish is staying as well. I guess we can transform it, but yeah, here we go. So we get Cardinal Fish from Tamarin, and that ended up getting removed because it was also possible to get Armadillo, and it's very difficult to play around or to build a team that's going to work well if you have if you either lose loads of attack or gain loads of health. I mean, to be honest, there were lots of other possibilities. I think you could get Swordfish, you could get Woodpecker. Maybe there's a good case for Woodpecker being added back in. But yeah, overall it was a bit too volatile, which is why it's ended up the way it is on the test server. So here you can actually see II was tier 6 originally, and its ability is very, very similar to what it was originally. It just got moved down in tiers, and Black Rhino was on tier 5. So yeah, I think, I'm not 100% sure here, but the ability for the cardinal fish did change as well, because originally it could take your attack right down to 1. And then it was changed so that it had a cutoff, it can't go lower than 6. Yeah, marine iguana, is that different? I think that's the same, but it looks like I'm going to take it regardless. Definitely better than the green tomato we have on the silverfish at the front. Maybe here I thought I was going to try and get level 3 silverfish, which I'm sure I haven't even had level 2 silverfish on the live server. But I think I'm going to give up on that at some point. So here you can also see that African Wild Dog had a different ability, and I think so did the thrush, although we don't get to see it in that battle. So African Wild Dog did not have a limit on its attack, so you could just keep it indefinitely and it would become an absolute monster in the late game. Amami Rabbit was tier 6 there. It had a completely different ability. It used to gain trumpets every time a friend jumped, which I actually was okay with that ability. The only problem was there was no real trumpet synergy in the pack, so it probably made sense to repurpose it. As we get destroyed by Rhino here. So I think Judean Date was still exactly the same. It's one of the few things that didn't change at all. And you can see also in the shop there, Blue Whale has a 15-15 stat line. Its ability was quite different originally. I'm not sure how much footage I have of that recorded, but I'll have to try and dig it out at some point. Now here we can see something interesting. The opposing team had a Sumatran Tiger, and it also had Kiwano from Krill. I'm not sure if you can still get that or not, but yeah, it was, I think I cut out a bit here where I watched the replay a few times to see what was happening there, but it did seem like the Kiwano affected the splash damage from the Tiger. It also actually had splash damage on level 1, not just levels 2 and 3. So here you got to see briefly there another major difference, is that White Ochre, the perk that I've given to the Hornbill here, was an ailment. So you can watch here, the Volcano Snail at the front gets Sticky, which was similar to Sleepy on the live server. It meant that the first attack was only going to be 5 damage max. I think that's what it was. So it could be lower than 5 if if it was a lower attack unit. So yeah, pretty powerful, but it was somewhat balanced by the fact that you could not have more than one. If you had 2 White Ochres, then all of the sticky would just get applied to the unit at the front. So, you couldn't just blanket their whole team with ailments. But that's gone now. Who knows whether it will come back. It looks like we're going to get level 3 Hornbill here. And of course I'm playing quite quickly here because at this point I'd played many, many games on the test server. But it's difficult trying to pick up exactly what changed and what didn't. So I'm sure the eagle-eyed viewer can go back and pause if they really want to. This PDF team I think is showing up in a few test server videos already. Although we did have real teams to play against, there obviously weren't that many of them overall, especially on certain turns. So you would end up facing a few duplicates. Now here it did look like I was going to transform the silverfish, but I changed my mind. Is there anything else here that's brand new? I'm not sure. I'm sure we'll cover a lot of the other changes in other videos, but look at this monstrous team here. Huge buy-sell team with the 50-50 Buffalo. And I think we're going to struggle here. Oh, we just scrape a tie. Maybe that was because of the maple syrup there? I'm not sure. Yeah, one last check of the shop. There looks like there's a lot of things that are still very, very similar. Same stat lines, same tiers. Here's actually Blue Whale. Now, I believe this would have been the original Blue Whale, which was quite different. I think I'll probably have to do an entire video on that at some point if I can find some decent footage. But if not, I can always make a video out of a bunch of clips just showing these abilities in action, even if I don't have a good run.